The US Grand Prix is just around the corner, and discussions about the regulations don't seem to be dying down. The FIA has taken swift action ahead of the Austin race after it was reported that a team may have been using a ride height trick to gain a significant aerodynamic advantage. This loophole appears to have come to light just after McLaren's MCL38 mini-DRS effect surfaced, raising concerns about how teams are increasingly finding these gray areas in the rules. The big question now is how this issue might impact the rest of the season, especially with so many teams bringing upgrade packages to Austin in a bid to either maintain their current standings or climb the leaderboard in both championships. But the spotlight is on one team, suspected of manipulating the ride height of their car, particularly the clearance of the front bib or T-tray. This part of the car has been a focal point since the introduction of the 2022 regulations, and now suspicions are swirling around one team. Before the weekend, several teams alerted the FIA about a possible adjustment to the front bib clearance between qualifying and the race. If true, this tweak could offer a massive aerodynamic advantage, allowing the car to adapt to different ride height needs for qualifying and the race. Cars require less fuel during qualifying to maximize speed, while during the race, they carry a heavier fuel load, gradually becoming lighter as the race progresses. Adjusting the ride height for each scenario would provide a significant edge. However, the front bib is a part that, under no circumstances, should be modified in park firm. Adjusting it would mean changing the car's aerodynamic setup, which is strictly prohibited. Yet, it's believed that the suspected team may have found a way to tweak these settings either from inside the cockpit or through a mechanic during routine pre-race preparations. While this may sound far-fetched, it's not impossible given the highly regulated nature of the current era in Formula One. We've seen similar controversies before, and the FIA's stance on various issues often stirs debate. Although the FIA has not yet found conclusive evidence, it has started changing its procedures for checking front bibs starting at the US Grand Prix. Generally, when the FIA introduces new checks, it's a sign that they suspect a breach of the rules, even if they're not ready to make it public. This approach allows the FIA to avoid unnecessary drama, which could create even more controversy. The real question is whether these new procedures will impact any team's performance in Austin and whether something fishy has been going on behind the scenes in recent months. McLaren quickly came under suspicion due to their innovations with both the front and rear wings, which have stirred up drama in the sport. In response, the FIA issued an official statement regarding the front bib, clarifying that no part of the car can be modified without tools, a new regulation added to Article 40.9. This move from the FIA strengthens the belief that something shady may have been happening. McLaren's dominance in recent races, especially in Zandvoort and Singapore, where Lando Norris secured a comfortable victory, only adds fuel to the fire. Their upgrades seem to be working flawlessly, with no limitations on data gathering, which has raised more than a few eyebrows. An FIA spokesperson reaffirmed that any adjustments to the front bib clearance during park firm conditions are strictly forbidden. While there is no hard evidence yet of any team exploiting this loophole, the FIA remains vigilant and has introduced procedural changes to prevent such manipulation in the future. In some cases, they've even applied seals to parts of the car to ensure compliance. This situation echoes previous controversies surrounding car parts, like the addition of cameras to the front wings to monitor potential flexing, which Red Bull and Ferrari believe McLaren's cars have been guilty of. Although the MCL38's front wing does show more flex than usual, it has been deemed legal for the rest of the season, and further checks will be introduced in 2025. This suggests that the FIA may not be entirely confident that all the cars on the grid are fully legal. Both Red Bull and Ferrari have adopted similar solutions for their own front wings, with Christian Horner stating that if the FIA hasn't ruled a part illegal, it's fair game for other teams to pursue similar designs. This reflects the nature of the sport, where teams push the boundaries of the rules as long as the regulators allow it. In Austin, Red Bull will introduce a new front wing and floor design in an attempt to regain their competitive edge. When discussing the importance of the front wing's flexibility in defending his driver's championship, Horner noted that such issues have been contentious in the past. He referenced a situation from 3 years ago, but stressed that the crucial factor for any team is clarity from the FIA. If a design is deemed acceptable, then teams will naturally pursue similar solutions. Fred Vasseur, team principal at Ferrari, also weighed in on the issue. He recalled a similar situation in 2021, around the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Baku, when changes to the front wing regulations forced teams to modify their designs. Even though their wings passed the tests, they exploited the elastic properties of the materials, prompting the FIA to intervene. Vasseur expressed his trust in the FIA to handle the current front bib situation appropriately. This latest issue with the front bib comes on the heels of several other controversies surrounding car parts. The FIA has been swift in addressing these matters, but their handling of certain situations has caused frustration among fans and teams alike. FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem has been criticized for focusing on trivial matters, like drivers swearing on the radio, rather than addressing more significant issues in the sport. While the drivers have been vocal about their dissatisfaction, the media has also criticized the FIA's priorities. Many feel that bin Sulayem should be tackling more pressing concerns, like the integrity of the sport, rather than policing language. But despite these distractions, all eyes will be on the Austin Grand Prix to see how the teams perform under the new regulations and whether any team has been exploiting a loophole in the rulebook. So, with everything we've covered, do you think a certain team has taken advantage of the front bib regulations? And if so, does it all point towards McLaren? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the video that's popping up on your screen right now.